Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. So today's commentary, I did just want to come in and just give my opinion here on the comments that Puff Daddy made in regards to um, suppressing, holding the black vote if Biden doesn't what did he say? He's like, I'll make some promises or like meet some demands of the black people to gain the black vote. And like, what promises are you going to make to us and everything? And so there was some people who didn't agree with his statement. Um, and they felt like it was too late for him to make that demand because they said he should have did that in the primaries. Um, so what he said, it did make sense. What he said was factual. There hasn't been a president as of late that has done anything for black people, which is true. Even President Obama, while he was in office, um, black people did not benefit from Barack Obama being in office. The only way that black people benefited from Barack Obama being in the office is to say that black people finally had a black president. And that went down in history. And not to take anything away from Barack Obama, because I like Barack Obama. But if we're just sticking to the facts of politics and the facts, Barack Obama didn't do anything for black people that will help black people. The people that got the most out of Barack Obama's presidency was the LGBTQT community. They got laws passed for them that benefits them as a whole. And so I get what Diddy was saying in regards to we have to, what promises are you going to make to us to to help us vote, to make us vote for you? Like, what are you offering, what are you bringing to the table that is going to help the black people as a whole, as a community? And I agree with that. There, I don't think he said anything wrong in regards to that. Now his motives may be a little sketchy, but what he said, he was not incorrect about saying it. Could he have gone about it in a different way? Probably. But what he said made a lot of sense. Um, Black people have been voting Democrats for years and years and years without us benefiting from anything by voting um, Democrat. Like, we have not benefited in any way, shape, or form. And the laws that have been passed for minorities or things to benefit black people, they include other races into that. So we're not specifically benefiting from those laws that have been passed. Other minorities have been benefiting from those laws that has been passed down for black people because we include minorities. So minority women are considered minorities. Asian people, any race of people that are non-white benefit from those laws of minorities. So even so it makes total sense. Like, we nothing has been given to black people for them to vote Democrat or vote the way that they have been voting. And so I totally agree with that. Now, the only issue that I have with the comment that Diddy made was, what is the solution now? How are we going to come together to get our concerns and voice what we need as a community, as black folks? What are the solutions for that? What is your plan? That's my only issue with that. Like, you came out, you made this statement that you can hold the black vote and all this other stuff, and you got Naomi Campbell on there with you or whatever. And to me, it did kind of look like a mockery, but I kind of get where he's coming from. Again, what he said wasn't wrong. What he said was actual factual in regards to black people have not been benefiting from voting Democrat. We still have no rights. Our civil rights are being violated every day. Black men can go and get beat and killed by the police with no repercussions or anything. Like, so yes, our civil rights are continuously being violated by the American government. We have not benefited anything from voting Democratic, which is actually true. Everything that my brother and my favorite ancestor and revolutionary Malcolm X has stated back in 1964 in his speech, The Ballot or the Bullet, everything he has said in that speech is relevant today. And I encourage everybody, if you can find it on YouTube. I have it personally on my phone, but along with another plethora of Malcolm X's speeches. But if you go and watch Malcolm X speech on The Ballot or the Bullet, everything he was saying back then is relevant. And that speech, I believe he gave that speech in 1964. And now it's 2020, and what he said is still valid. So I get what Diddy was saying. I just didn't like that he didn't have any solutions on how we could do that, or what we were going to do to get black folks more rights or stuff that benefits us. You know what I'm saying? As a community, as a whole, as black people, not Asians, Mexicans, or anything like that, or the LGBT community. With nothing against those groups, but still, we back every other race, and when it comes down to us, we have no backing when it comes to black people, or when it comes to black men getting beat and gunned down by the police, or black women getting beat by white men out in the street, or by Asians because they think they're stealing, or getting beat in a nail shop. So I'm just saying, what is the solutions for that? Like, he didn't have any. He just made a statement. And I mean, like, okay, you can feel that way, but how are you going to back up that statement? What are we going to do? It has been proven that black people holds the majority of the vote when it comes to choosing a president, although the electoral college choose anyway. But I'm just saying, like, the black vote is one of the deciding factors, because normally white people votes is split down the middle. So they need the vote of the black people to either vote a Democrat in the White House or a Republican in the White House. So as black people, we do have that power. But how are we going to use that power? So what he said totally made sense to me, because I do study Malcolm X speeches, and although I don't follow politics like that, I do listen, I do understand. I'm just not greatly involved in politics like that. I wouldn't say I'm a Democrat or a Republican or anything like that. I'm just for what's right. What's right for the people, what's right for black people. So that's what I am. Also, like Malcolm X said, we've been political chumps. I mean, plain blank period. Like, what are we getting out of voting Democrat? So I just want you guys just to think about that. Like, don't go so far as thinking off emotion. I want you guys to come and think of it from a logical standpoint. Yes, we may not like the messenger or the way that the message was sent, but what Puff Daddy said, he was accurate in that. So my only thing with him is, how are we going to come together to do that? What are the solutions? I mean, is he a billionaire? I know he's a multimillionaire. So why not get some of your millionaire friends and your billionaire friends to come together and use your money that you have to benefit black folks? So we know money talks. If we want a seat at the table as black folks, and want our needs met by the government or a political party, we have to speak their language. Money speaks their language. Emotion does not. So us rioting, marching, expressing ourselves emotionally, yeah, they can take that for a little bit because they know that's going to die down. However, if you're speaking their language, which is money, then we could sit down and have a seat at the table and bring forth our needs and bring forth our wants as black people here in America. So Diddy and his friends, they have the money and the resources to do that. They could put together a pot of money where they can go to whoever the political person that they, if it's Biden or whoever the Republican person is, because let's be real, black people used to vote Republican. Where the change came, I am not so sure. But again, so whichever one we're leaning towards, we should come together as the black community. They hold most of the funds, so he should gather him, Kanye West, Jay-Z, all these other rich black people that can make a difference, not only by using their voice, but by using their resources and their funds because they have them. Put together a pot of money where you can go and sit at the table with these politicians and tell them, this is what we want as black people, as a community. Here you go. Here's the money. We're backing you. We're going to give you the black vote. And that's what the LGBTQ community does. They gather funds and gather money, and they sit at the table and they make their demands. And you know how they're able to make their demands and their demands are met? It's because they have the money to back it. All black folks have is emotion and talk. We don't have money to back it. However, we are the largest group of people who spend money. So we have the money. We just choose to spend it on frivolous things such as name brand clothes, name brand shoes, hair, weave, all that other shit that don't matter once you buy it or anything. You're just making the Asians more rich. You're just making the white man more rich and giving them more power to have money to get their needs and demands met. So if we as the black people come together, because it's all about economics. That's basically all it boils down to, is economics and how you can benefit America economically. And from an economic standpoint, we have no power because we don't have any money to back it as a community. Yes, individually, black people have money and black people spend money, but as a collective, we do not come together as one and put that money together as one so we can sit at the table and make our demands and get what we need as a community. But then I'm like kind of torn, like, okay, we're doing this, trying to have a seat at the table with these people who continuously show that they don't give a damn about black people. Black lives do not matter to them. Again, anytime they can come in our neighborhood and continuously police us and continuously degrade and continuously kill our men and continuously lock them up, then yes, we don't, our lives don't matter to them. What matters to them is our spending power. What matters to them is our economic power and what we spend and what we buy. So with that being said, if we could come together as a unit, we will be stronger. We could have more demand. Just picture the world or America without the black dollar. It will corrupt the American system. I don't care what nobody tell you. It will corrupt the American system if black people came together and boycotted like what they were going to spend their money on. And that would be a way to make change. And I know everybody wouldn't agree, or that's the thing, they want everybody to agree on the same message, or if they don't agree, then they don't want to work with you. Our main goal should be to have freedom as black people here in America, because we built this land. We were here first. We all know Christopher Columbus didn't discover America. Black people was already here on this continent, on here in America first. Like, so that if you study and do your research, you would know that. But anyway, so I'm just saying, like, if we want to get real and we can speak some real shit, we can try to be on the movement that Brother Malcolm was on, which is black nationalism. And black nationalism does not mean you hate white people or you hate other minorities. Black nationalism is you are for black people, the betterment of black people, the benefit of black people, meaning we have black banks, we have black schools, we have black grocery stores, we have a black community like that benefits. If you look into the black community, Arabics come in there and set up shop. We have Asians that come in there and set up shop and benefit off of the black dollar. All these other groups come into the black community and they benefit from the black dollar. However, we black folks don't own their own banks. Black folks don't own their own school. Black folks barely own their own grocery stores. So we don't have our own. Like, Asians, they buy and work within their Asian community. Same thing with Jews and white people. We as black folks, we want to so badly be accepted by the dominant society that we spend our dollars everywhere. We don't care about building black unity, black business, or building the black dollar or the economics of the black people. We don't care about that because we just want to fit in. We want to be accepted. And it's okay to not be accepted by a certain group of people. That's totally fine. But we so desperately want to be liked and accepted into the dominant society that we give up our civil rights, or we overlook it, or we condemn our own people just to be accepted. And that's bullshit. So I think we should come together as a whole, as a community, bring our economics together again, because money talks, bullshit walks. Ain't nobody finna sit down and listen to you bitch and complain about the police beating you and killing your brother or killing your family members, or about the corrupt government, or about how you're being socially economic depressed, oppressed, and how your civil rights are constantly being violated on a daily basis. Nobody gives a fuck about that because you're still spending your money on frivolous things. We're not coming together, and we can come together to march on some emotional shit, but when it comes to thinking, playing checkers and not chess, and having a stake in the economics, we lack there because of divide and conquer and slaves still having that slave mentality and stuff like that. So I think if we can come together, what Diddy said about holding the black vote, I think it will have more power. I just couldn't rock with him as a person because I believe, my opinion, he's just speaking to be speaking. I mean, Like, what are you going to do? What actions are you going to have to back your statement that you're making? And that's the only issue I had with that comment. But what he said totally made sense. So, yeah, what are we going to do? What are our demands as black folks? Do we even know? Like, what do we want here while we're here in America? I mean, what do we want? That's something that we need to be thinking about as a whole. I know this whole thing about reparations and stuff like that, which I do think Aboriginal Americans, black folks, need to have that for the maltreatment of our people, but that's for a different thing. We're talking about politically. So that was my take on it. I do encourage you guys to listen to the powerful ancestor Malcolm X. Go listen to his speeches. I love listening to his speeches because I learned something. I listened to the ballad or the bullet, I would say, about over 10 times because, again, Malcolm X is one of my favorite civil rights people and one of my favorite ancestors. So, yes, I would advise everyone to just go and listen to that speech, the ballad and the bullet, and don't be a political chump. Well, and if you guys haven't already, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel.